Hello, everybody. I didn't set a lot of goals for myself this year, but the one thing I casually mentioned was that I wanted to add to my pre-war boxing collection. And I'd like to thank George Concrete Buddy for keeping me honest, because every once in a while he did a check-in and would say something like, "Hey, how's that going on the pre-war boxing?" And I would have to very sheepishly say, nothing yet. But he kept me honest, and so I picked up at least one card for now. And thank you, George. And by the way, I'm wearing your favorite shirt, the flamingo shirt. He's mentioned that a couple times too. Being a Florida guy, likes the flamingo shirt. Before I reveal the card, whenever I want to look into pre-war boxing, I always search for my favorite boxer. And that is Joe Jeanette. And I'm going to give you a little background on him in a minute and a little biographical information. And I didn't make notes. This is all on the fly, so hopefully I don't hem and haw too much. But here's a few cards I already have. This is the T218. You all know I collect the set. This one is the Mecca back. I still need the Hassan. This is called Cohen Wienens. And I looked for the T designation. It is a tobacco card, but couldn't find what it was exactly. A little paper loss here. And this has got like a blue back, and I've seen them with green backs too, so I might be in the market for that eventually. T225. Nice card. Yeah, T225. And this is some kind of modern thing. I'm forgetting where I got it, but it's obviously a newer printed thing. And then I also have a Helmer card of his. That's really cool. That's from like 05 or 06, and I don't know where that's at. So, but that's what I have so far. So my new addition to the Joe Jeanette collection, it's for the T218 collection. Looks just like the Mecca, except this is the Hassan back. So there it is in the Hassan back. So this is a really special card, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Here's the front again. It looks very sharp. Really, really happy with this card. I paid about $20 more than I would normally pay for the Hassan back in a 3. And again, I'll go over that in a minute. But why do I like Joe Jeanette so much? Well, there's a little story here. So in the early part of the last century, there were basically 5 great black boxers. Jack Johnson, Sam Langford, Sam McVeigh, Harry Willis, and Joe Jeanette. And they all fought each other and were constantly beating up on each other. Eventually, a lot of you know, Jack Johnson won the regular belt, the World Championship. And unfortunately, he really loved that belt and refused to fight other black boxers. And promoters didn't even really want to promote 2 black boxers fighting each other for the belt because they didn't think it would draw enough. So the colored belt, which had existed prior to that, remained in effect. When Johnson won the heavyweight title, I knew I was going to lose my train of thought. Oh, the title was vacated. And so Sam McVeigh and Jack Johnson in 1909 fought in Paris for the vacated title, and Sam McVeigh won. Okay, they made a lot of money off that fight because in France, they just loved American black boxers for whatever reason. They thought they were kind of a novelty. They were treated nicely there, which was great for them. So Jeanette and McVeigh agreed to fight a month later for the title again. This time until there was a winner, so no draw possibilities. And the fight went 49 rounds. So I'm going to roll in like some clips here. And this is actually from a little mini doc that was released, it had to be at least 12 years ago. What used to be called Fox Sports North, Northwest, Northeast. which is now Root Sports. And it's only about 20 minutes. I really recommend you checking this out if you like boxing or any kind of sports history. And the series was called Amazing Sports Stories, or something along those lines. And it just chronicles Joe Jeanette, his career, his life a little bit. And this 49-round fight with Sam McVeigh for the title in Paris in 1909. And through the early part of the fight, Jeanette was just rocked, knocked off his feet something like 22 times in the first 15 rounds or something crazy. Had oxygen in between rounds. And I guess after about 21 rounds, he just got his second wind. And then he started battling back, and McVeigh got his eye closed up a little bit. And when they rang the bell for the 50th round, McVeigh said, no more, I'm good. And the purse for that fight was $6,000, or about $6,000, which today would be $128,000. I saw the math earlier. I forgot what it was. But it was, for two Black Americans to be fighting for that much money in Paris in 1909. Well, no wonder they wanted to keep fighting. And every month they would fight for this title. And eventually, I'm forgetting who Jeanette lost to. Langford. And then he had the title a lot. I looked at like the month totals going on through history. And Langford mostly had the colored title after it was vacated by Jeanette, or after he beat Jeanette. But it went back and forth, and Willis had it, and Langford and McVeigh might have even had it again, and Langford a bunch of times. And anyway, eventually they ended the colored title, the colored belt. When Joe Louis won the regular title, they decided, okay, that's enough, because he's going to fight whoever's best and probably beat him, right? So that's that. Watch that documentary. That's really cool. So why did I pay more for this one? Probably about $20 more, like I said. I didn't really do my comps, but that is because if you look very closely at the spelling, and I hope it's picking it up, it says Joe Jeanette with a 1 N. And it's supposed to be spelled with 2. So this is an error card. It wasn't even discovered until 2019. And I have actually never seen one of these listed. I check eBay for Joe Jeanette cards all the time. Usually I say I have it or I can't afford it. But I've never seen this even listed. It doesn't show up in any registries as a separate line item for being an error card. I don't know if that's common or not. But I just thought it was really cool. So it fills a hole for the set, because it's the Hassan back, and it's also an error, and it's also just really nice. So eventually, by the way, Jack Johnson and Joe Jeanette did get to fight.
A war bond rally is held in New York. Jack Johnson, now recognized as the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. Before Johnson was champion, he fought Joe Jeanette 9 times. Now a nostalgic reunion. Jeanette never got a chance at the title.
Obviously, they were both old men by that point, and that was just for fun or for charity or something like that. But I hope you enjoyed that. I found the perfect spot for this card. Perfect. It's going to go right here, and these two can battle. Hopefully there's no glare. There's not. These two can battle in perpetuity here on the top of my display case. George, I hope I got at least one more in me. I don't know if I'll reach the coolness factor that I did on this one, because I love this card. I love it. I love this Johnson too. Two of my, I don't know. I have to do my top 10 video for Jason still. We'll see. They might both squeak in there. I don't know. But anyway, hope you liked it. And again, until next time, remember, we don't count subscribers. We count friends.